Hello friends, welcome to the solid state session 2 and we are learning some important terms related to the crystalline solids. They are nothing but crystal lattice or space lattice, lattice point, unit cell, coordination number. The diagram you are observing, it is nothing but the crystal lattice or the space lattice, and we are defining crystal lattice or the space lattice mainly based on the arrangement of the particles. Regular three-dimensional arrangement of the particles, we call it as crystal lattice or a space lattice. Now see this portion, dotted portion, this dotted cube we are repeating in a three dimension along x, y and z axis. So this is the smallest portion of the crystal lattice which on repetition generates entire crystal lattice. This smallest portion which on repetition generating entire crystal lattice, we call it as unit cell. And whatever the red circles you are observing, these are nothing but the particles present in the crystalline solid. Position occupied by the particle in crystal lattice is called lattice point. Position occupied by the particle in crystal lattice, we call it as lattice point. Consider a lattice point, the number of nearest neighboring particles to this point, or you take any other particle, the number of nearest neighboring particles, we call it as coordination number. Say for example, I am considering this particle which is present in the middle, or you can say at the center of all these 8 boxes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 boxes here, and you see this is in direct contact with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the 6 particles. Okay, so coordination number of this particle becomes 6. Like this we can find the coordination number, and much more we are going to see in detail when we go for learning a concept called close packing related to the coordination number. So we have learned 4 important terms: crystal lattice, lattice point, unit cell and the coordination number. Based on the particles present at the lattice point, we are dividing crystalline solids which we already learned, like molecular solids. In that we have 3 types. Now unit cell mainly into 2 types based on the arrangement of the particles. First one, simple or a primitive unit cell. This unit cell is nothing but simple or the primitive unit cell. See where the particles are present. Particles are present only at the corners. Unit cell containing particles only at the corners, we call it as simple or a primitive unit cell. Second type of unit cell, centered or non-primitive unit cell. Centered or non-primitive unit cells are nothing but the unit cells which contain particles at the corners and also at some other places. So this is the unit cell. In this unit cell we have particles at the 8 corners. So these are the corner particles. Apart from this, there is another particle at the center of this unit cell. So this is present, red colored particle is present at the center of the unit cell. This type of unit cell is called body centered unit cell. Next, we see another centered or the non-primitive unit cell. These are all the corner particles. Now see where the other particles are present. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, 4, phase in the plane of the blackboard and phase towards us. So totally we have 6 phases for the unit cell. At the center of each phase there is one particle. So based on the particle present at the center of each phase, we call the unit cell as phase centered unit cell. Now the last one. Consider any two opposite ends of the unit cell. So this is the unit cell and all these are the corner particles. Now consider any two opposite ends. Top end and the lower end, right, left, end in the board, end towards us. I am going to consider the top end and the lower end. At the center of any two opposite ends, we find the particle. Such unit cell is called end-centered unit cell. So there are 3 types of centered or non-primitive unit cells: body-centered, face-centered and end-centered. So this is how we divide unit cells into mainly 2 types based on the arrangement of the particles. Okay, after learning about the crystal lattice point, unit cell, coordination number, types of unit cell, we are to concentrate next on parameters of unit cell. A unit cell is characterized by 6 parameters. So we have 6 parameters for a unit cell. Three edge lengths. These edge lengths are denoted by small a, b, c, and we have 3 axial angles, also called as interfacial angles, alpha, beta, gamma. So a unit cell is characterized by 6 parameters: 3 edge lengths a, b, c, and 3 axial angles alpha, beta, gamma. Let us see how they are shown with respect to a unit cell. This is a unit cell and I am going to show you all a, b, c, alpha, beta, gamma. See, in this unit cell totally we have 12 edges. I am going to count the edges: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And 3 edges are repeating. The edges which are repeating I am going to show. So this is the edge A, edge length A, and this is the edge length B, and this is the edge length C. 3 edges we have taken: edge A, this is the edge B and edge C. Now angle between edge B and C is alpha. Angle between edge A and C is beta, and angle between edge A and B is taken as gamma. So this is how we are going to show 6 parameters in a unit cell: 3 edge lengths A, B, C, and 3 axial angles alpha, beta, gamma, also called as interfacial angles. Okay, after learning 6 parameters of unit cell, we are going to concentrate next on another important part which is very important for competitive exams. Repeatedly, every year we are going to see questions related to the part now we are learning with respect to the crystalline solids. So we are going to learn mainly on crystal systems. We have 7 crystal systems. In these 7 crystal systems, Bravais, a mathematician who has given his own contribution to the solid state, he identified some lattices in 7 crystal systems, and these are nothing but the crystal lattices. We are calling them as Bravais lattices. There are 14 Bravais lattices. So we have 7 crystal systems based on A, B, C, alpha, beta, gamma. Based on the relation between A, B, C, alpha, beta, gamma, there are 7 types of unit cells. Each unit cell we call it as crystal system, and in each crystal system we find simple unit cell definitely. You know the meaning of simple unit cell? Unit cell with particles only at the corners. Apart from this, some crystal systems contain centered unit cells, and such unit cells when we find in all 7 crystal systems, we get 14 different types of unit cells in 7 crystal systems. They are called as Bravais lattices. You understand, when we see a table which is going to explain about the 7 crystal system. So let us make some columns. First one, for the serial number we take. Second column is for the name of the crystal system. Third column is for the relation between edge length. Fourth column is the relation between axial angle or the interfacial angle, and the last column is for possible other types of unit cells, including simple unit cell. First crystal system we see. This is the most symmetrical system, cubic system. For cubic system, we have all edges of the same length. So A is equal to B is equal to C. When you concentrate on the angles, alpha is equal to beta is equal to gamma, and this is equal to 90 degree. And in the cubic system, there are 3 variations. I told you, in all crystal systems, minimum we are getting this one, simple. Apart from simple, we are getting body centered and the face centered unit cell. I have written in short as BC and FC. BC for body centered, FC for face centered. Second crystal system, tetragonal system. Just look at the relation. For tetragonal system, 2 edges are having same length, but they are not equal to the third one. You can take A is equal to B not equal to C, or A not equal to B is equal to C. 2 edges are having same length but not equal to the third one. No change in the angle. Keep the angle same. Alpha, beta, gamma equal to 90. 2 variations. Simple and body centered. Third crystal system, orthorhombic system. In orthorhombic system, you see, we are going to cancel another edge. A not equal to B, not equal to C. Just look at edge length relation when you move from cubic system to orthorhombic system. Just we are cancelling one edge from the first to third one. A is equal to B is equal to C. Alpha, beta, gamma equal to 90 degree cubic system. Keep the angle same. Cancel one edge. We are getting tetragonal system. Cancel another edge. We are getting orthorhombic system. No change in axial angles. Alpha, beta, gamma equal to 90. And in this, we are getting all 4 unit cells. Simple, body centered, face centered, and end centered. All 4 types we got in a orthorhombic system. Which are those? Simple, body centered, face centered, and the end centered. Next, fourth one. Rhombohedral, also called as trigonal system. In case of rhombohedral system, you see A is equal to B is equal to C. Alpha, beta, gamma not equal to 90 degree. This is the only change. And I'm going to remember trigonal system based on the cubic system. Very easy to remember this table when you go on comparing the crystal systems with respect to edge length and axial angle. See that. Almost cubic system relation is repeating in the trigonal system. The only difference is alpha, beta, gamma equal to 19 cubic, but not equal to 90 in rhombohedral or the trigonal system. And here we are getting only one variation. It is nothing but simple unit cell. Fifth one, hexagonal system. I am going to compare now hexagonal system with tetragonal system. I am going to remember like this. Tetragonal is ending with gonal, G-O-N-A-L. Hexagonal is also ending with G-O-N-A-L. In this way I am going to compare the edge length alpha, beta, gamma. See that. Edge length relation, whatever we have in the tetragonal system is same repeated for hexagonal. And whenever you are getting hexagonal, remember this, alpha, beta 90, gamma is going to change, gamma becomes 120. And here also we are getting only one variation, it is nothing but the simple system. Last two. And we are going to write both simultaneously. Monoclinic, triclinic. So what do you get in your mind when you are getting the word clinic? Not with respect to the hospital or the clinic we are speaking. Whenever you get the word clinic with respect to crystal system, one thing you remember, A not equal to B not equal to C, A not equal to B not equal to C, alpha, gamma 90, beta not equal to 90. Here there is a slight change in the relation between axial angles, only monoclinic system. See that. Alpha, gamma 90, beta not equal to 90. And two variations are possible. Simple and centered. Now last type of crystal system, triclinic system. As I told you, whenever you get the word clinic with respect to crystal system, remember all edges are going to cancel. A not equal to B not equal to C in both. This is the most unsymmetrical system. Last one, triclinic. Alpha not equal to beta not equal to gamma not equal to 90. Only one variation, simple crystal, simple unit cell we are getting. Okay. We learnt on 7 types of crystal systems: cubic, tetragonal, orthorhombic, rhombohedral, hexagonal, monoclinic and triclinic. It is very easy to remember. If I remember cubic system, last one can be remembered very easily. Cubic system is the most symmetrical system. Triclinic system is the most unsymmetrical system. You see, all the parameters are equal in cubic system and none of the parameters are equal in triclinic system. From cubic to orthorhombic, I told you, keep the axial angle relation same. Just go on cancelling one edge length. Fourth one, rhombohedral. Once again based on the cubic we are writing. For cubic and rhombohedral system, A is equal to B is equal to C. Alpha, beta, gamma equal to 90 in cubic but not equal to 90 in rhombohedral. Hexagonal I am going to compare with tetragonal only with respect to edge length. A is equal to B, not equal to C. Alpha, beta 90, gamma 120. So if you get gamma 120, definitely it is the hexagonal system. You see, none of the crystal systems we have 120 axial angle. The only crystal system with 120 degree axial angle is hexagonal system. Monoclinic, triclinic, I told you. Cancel all the edge lengths. A not equal to B, not equal to C. Triclinic, where is it? Remember, alpha not equal to beta, not equal to gamma, not equal to 90. Only in monoclinic system, you have to concentrate a little bit on relation between axial angle. Alpha, gamma 90, beta not equal to 90. Look at the variations now which are identified by the Bravais. Totally how many variations are there in 7 crystal systems? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So these are all 14 variations which are identified by Bravais and they are called as Bravais lattices. Don't get confused with the crystal system and the Bravais lattice. Crystal systems are based on A, B, C, alpha, beta, gamma, and in each we are getting some subtypes of unit cells. Simple in all, centered in some. Okay, totally 14 variations. They are called Bravais lattices. We concentrate next on cubic system and we are going to do some calculations only with respect to cubic system. Let us concentrate on calculation of number of atoms per unit cell. It is denoted by the letter Z. And this calculation we do mainly with respect to the cubic system. And for understanding the calculation, we are going to see the diagram of crystal lattice once again. Now just look at the particle which are marked by the dark black color. So this is a particle and you see this particle, it is common to 8 unit cells. This is a corner particle which is common to 8 unit cells. And this particle gets equally shared between all 8 unit cells. Therefore, contribution of this particle for 1 unit cell is, since it is present equally among all the 8 unit cells, remember every corner particle, so this is the corner particle, every corner particle contributes 1/8 part for 1 unit cell. Say for example, we have an apple and we are distributing the apple equally between the 8 friends. So what I have to do? I have to cut the apple into 8 pieces so that each person gets 1/8 part. In that way only, this is the corner particle shared equally by 8 unit cells. Therefore, this is giving 1/8 part for 1 unit cell. 1/8 part of every corner particle belongs to 1 unit cell. Remember all these points and we need this for the calculation. Now, I am going to shade a face. So this is a face which I am shading now. Just look at this face which I have shaded by using some blue color. This is a face which is common to 2 unit cells. One is on the left side, another is on the right side. So if I take a particle at the center of this face, so this is a particle present at the face center, it gets equally shared by 2 unit cells. Therefore, every face centered particle contributes 1/2 part for 1 unit cell. Half of this particle is present in the left unit cell and half of the particle is present in the right unit cell. If I take next a particle at the center of this unit cell which is on the left corner, so if I take the particle at the center of body of the unit cell, body centered particle which belongs to this unit cell. Now this particle completely belongs to 1 unit cell. So this is contributing 1 for 1 unit cell. So the contribution of body centered particle for 1 unit cell, we take it as 1. On this basis only we go for the calculation. I will be giving one best example so that you can go for the calculation. Say for example, you have purchased one house in an apartment which is having number of floors. Imagine that we purchased our house in the second or the third floor, whatever it may be. Okay, we considered a house, we purchased a house in an apartment which is in the third floor, and today is its opening ceremony where all friends have came and you are introducing the house to the friends. You are showing the house to the friends. Just you are entering a room. You cannot say that, if suppose this is the wall of the room, you cannot say that this wall completely belongs to me. It is because beside this we have another room of our neighbor's house. So this is the wall which gets equally shared between two houses. So half a part belongs to our house and other half a part of this wall belongs to our neighbor's house. So this is how I can compare the wall, or even I can take the floor. If I take the floor is not mine, because the floor on which I am standing, it becomes ceiling for the house which is exactly below our house in the apartment. Similarly, you can't say that whatever the ceiling we are having in our house, it's ours. Because the ceiling we have for our house, it is the floor for the house which is on the top of our house. So like this, you can take any wall, you can take floor or the ceiling, they won't belong completely to us. They are shared by two houses. So I'm going to compare that with the face-centered particle. Then what we purchased, for what we have given the money. We have given the money for only the house, space which is present in the house, and that space I can compare with body-centered particle. So with this example, probably I think that you get some idea related to the face-centered particle, body-centered particle, and the corner particle. Okay, we go for the calculation of number of atoms per unit cell, and this calculation we are doing with respect to cubic system. First, we are going to consider simple cubic system. So we are calculating number of atoms per unit cell now in the simple cubic system. For this, I am going to consider a diagram of simple cubic system. So this is a diagram of a simple cubic system. We have particles only at the corners in the cubic system. Count the number of particles. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Totally 8 particles in this primitive or the simple cubic unit cell. Now, I am going to calculate number of atoms per unit cell in simple cubic system. For this, I have to take the contribution of one particle for the unit cell. I told you 1/8th part of each particle belongs to one unit cell. Therefore, 1/8 we take, this is the contribution of one particle. One corner particle, every corner particle gets equally shared by 8 unit cells. Therefore, contribution of corner particle is 1/8. Like that, totally we have 8 particles in the unit cell. Therefore, I have to multiply 1/8 into 8. So this is 1. Number of atoms per unit cell in the simple cubic system is 1. So this is a calculation. Now we are considering face-centered cubic system, and we go for calculation of number of atoms per unit cell in a face-centered cubic system. So this is the face-centered cubic system. Dark colored particles you are observing, they are the face-centered atoms. Count the face-centered atoms. Totally we have 6 faces. At the center of each face we have one particle. Number of atoms per unit cell in face-centered cubic system. In short, we write it as FCC. Now just look at the calculation. We have to take now 2 contributions. One is the corner contribution, another is face centered contribution. Corner contribution remains same, it's 1 by 8 into 8. So this is the contribution made by the corner atoms or the corner particles. Now the contribution made by the face centered atoms I have to add. We know that every face centered particle gets equally shared by 2 unit cells. Therefore, contribution of one particle for one unit cell is 1 by 2. Half a part belongs to one unit cell and other half part belongs to neighboring unit cell. Now 1 by 2, this is the contribution of one atom or the one particle. Like that, totally we have 6 atoms, therefore I have to multiply by 6. So this is the face centered contribution. Now we want to add both. So this is 1 by 2 into 6, we are getting 3. So we get the number of atoms per unit cell in FCC is equal to 4. Next, we go for the third one. Calculation of number of atoms per unit cell in a body centered cubic system. In short, we call it as BCC. And for this, I am going to consider a diagram of body centered cubic system. Once again, the dark colored particle you are observing, it is present at the center of the unit cell. It is nothing but the body centered particle. Now, number of atoms per unit cell in BCC is equal to, again I have to take 2 contributions. Corner contribution, body centered contribution. It's very easy. Corner contribution is once again 1 by 8 into 8 plus. So this is the contribution of the corner particles. Now to this I am going to add 1 because this is the contribution made by body centered particle. Now simplify this, we are getting 1 plus 1, this is nothing but 2. So in BCC we are getting number of atoms per unit cell is equal to 2. Like this we explain calculation of number of atoms per unit cell in a cubic system, where we learned calculation in simple cubic system, face centered cubic system and body centered cubic system.